Alright, hey, what's up guys? It's Andrew here again, back home. So this week, like I said, is going to be Wes Craven week, and as I said also, I have my brother here, so we decided to do if you're reading the titles, it's top 15. I couldn't just do 10. Wes Craven's my favorite director. I own almost all of his movies, so even the ones he directed made for TV, so I just figured that I had to do a top 15 list. So without further ado, we should probably start this list, because this will probably get this will probably get pretty long. Yeah, a couple of these here. Yeah, these are going to be 15 of the ones that we've both seen before. 15. I have this 3-pack here. If you've seen before, the one I'm talking about here is Serpent and the Rainbow. Again, I like it. I have never seen a Wes Craven movie I don't like, so there's not going to be one that says I don't really care for it. I really like this one. I kind of like the whole dream-esque thing, and it's really weird and really just, I don't know. It's got a lot going for it. The only thing, it's just like, I didn't really connect with the characters enough, so that's probably why it's not as high on my list. But yeah, that's 15 for me.
Oh yeah, my number 15 is a werewolf movie, Cursed. Yeah, these are the all the 15 Wes Craven movies that I've seen. So yeah, this one to me is okay. I mean, it's not, again, this is why I have it at 15. It's not one of my favorites. It does have its pretty hilarious moments in it, but like we talk about all the time, it suffered from you know, just getting rewritten and you know, really suffered. So yeah, number 15.
Yeah. And for my number 14, going right back to this again, it's going to be Shocker. I really like this, and it's a lot of fun. The only thing that I can say that doesn't make this higher on my list is, I say, it's a little bit long. It's an hour and 50 minutes, and for a slasher movie, like, it is really long. It seems to drag a little bit in the middle, like as he first turns. It seems like a long time to transition into the first half of the film to the second half, and it just drags a little bit for that. But other than that, it's a really fun movie. I understand why some people have it even in their top 5. It's really good. Nothing against it, but just that's the only thing that keeps it from being higher.
Well, my number 14 is one that I just got done watching.
Literally just 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. That's Hills Have Eyes Part 2. Like he says, Wes Craven disowned this movie, but yeah, I thought it was really fun. Feels a lot like a Friday the 13th movie, the last half of the movie, especially with Harry Manfredini's score in it the entire time. But yeah, I really just had fun with this one. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, and number 13 for me is Cursed. Again, this one, like he said, a lot of rewrites. It was supposed to be the Scream for werewolf movies. It ends up being a fun, campy, mid-2000s movie. It really bad CG. It ends up being a really camp movie that's just a lot of fun. We'll get a lot of laughs from it, a lot of good comedy to it. But other than that, it is just a fun movie. It's nothing spectacular.
Yeah. My number 13 is one of his most disliked horror movies, but yeah, I actually don't think it's that bad. That's My Soul Would Take. Yeah. Yeah, this one to me has a really good, really good story. Really hard to get takes you a couple times to, you know, understand exactly what's going on. But yeah, I really dig the story. The kills in this one for me are just kind of there. Characters are really good, really fun. But yeah, I don't think this one should be hated on as much as it is.
Yeah, underrated for sure. I might agree with that too. Number 12 is The Last House on the Left for me, the original. Obviously, we're doing, by the way, just directed Wes Craven movies, so the remake can't be on it or anything like that. again, we just got done watching this again today. I really like the characters, the grittiness, and actually this is only the, I say third, it might have been the fourth time that I watched this, but the more I watch it, the more I like it. I still think that I prefer the remake, but the characters and everything are just great in this movie. And there's just so many things about it that's just psychologically just gets to you. And then the only thing that I could say that I would put this movie down would maybe be the music. Other than that, I mean, for what they did, $90,000 budget. I mean, this was a landmark film. I mean, it was great. But yeah, that's my number 12.
Yeah, my number 12 is also Last House on the Left. Yeah, the music to me, I've heard that the music is kind of off in this movie. The music to me was really misleading for what was going on. You know, I don't know if they did it on purpose to kind of get you to feel like conflicted feelings about like what's going on, trying to like comfort you while all this horrific stuff is going on. But yeah, it doesn't fit the movie whatsoever. And I also find it weird that the cops in this movie are just complete idiots, and it's really goofy. Then it just goes back to, you know, all this horrific crap that's going on. But yeah, I actually pretty enjoyed it.
Yeah. So number 11 for me is Scream 2. You know what? This is one that it's kind of like love or hate for a lot of fans, and I mean a lot of genre fans or love-hate with the Scream series in general. But I actually really have a lot of fun time with this. This is a movie that I think that I can really watch over and over again just because it's so fun. You know, it picks right up where the Scream left off. It's got a lot of, you know, it carries on that, you know, love for horror. Like, they're at a college campus. And I find myself going to it a lot because I'm at a college campus a lot and stuff. So, but the thing is, you know, you hear, you know, Final Exam mentioned. You hear House on Sorority Row mentioned. You hear, you know, Splatter University, Dorm to Drip Blood mentioned. All of those are mentioned. And it's just like, you know, you kind of like get that like these people were genre fans that made this movie, and like I mean it's not really scary, a little bit suspenseful, but to me it's a really enjoyable film. And yeah, so that's my number 11.
Yes, this is also my number 11. Yeah, when I first watched the Scream series, I kind of was like, the first one's great, you know, then 2 and 3 are just so, and the fourth one was good. But as I rewatched a couple times, I really enjoy this one. Like you said, it's not really scary like the first one, but it really, just really enjoyable movie to watch. Really cool opening sequence too.
Yep. Getting in top 10 here actually. My number 10 is Hills Have Eyes 2. Again, I really like this film. The thing that sets this apart is I like that it's like the only of Wes Craven's movies that's just a slasher film, just your basic slasher film. You know, got Harry Manfredini's score in it, and you know, you kind of got this. It's just a basic premise. Teens go to this remote place and they're being stalked by people. Just basic. And this is the only time when you get Wes doing this. Other than that, he always just trying to do something different. And I really like it for what it is. It's enjoyable characters. It's a fun time. You won't come away with it being blown away or anything, but it's a nice way to spend 90 minutes. So yeah, that's my number 10.
Okay, my number 10 is from the 3-pack, and that's Serpent and the Rainbow. Yeah, man, this movie is just strange. It's really slow. Just the ending's just really weird, man. But you know, I kind of like the characters in this one too. This is a really strange movie, man. But I kind of dig the way it went, though.
Yep. That was number 10. Number 9 for me is the original Hills Have Eyes. Again, with the remake, a lot of people like the remake better. I actually do prefer this one. I really like the. There's some parts where I feel like it kind of drags for me. Like it just is kind of like, but I don't know. But it's just such a good like. I like all the characters in this movie. So that's my number 9. it's been talked about to death. So.
Yeah. My number 9, I mentioned the Scream series earlier. Yeah, I really enjoy this one. That's Scream 4. I really think this is a good rebound after Scream 3. I really am not a big fan of Scream 3. That's why I don't have it on the list. But yeah, really, I think it actually gets back to being pretty scary. Honestly, like it's the closest to the original. I think so. Yeah, love the ending to this one. I think it's probably the best out of all of them. But yeah, I really enjoy the Scream series.
Yep. That's good. My number 8 will be Swamp Thing, the original, the great Swamp Thing.
Yes.
It's a superhero movie before superhero movies were cool. Supposed to be a really good movie, and again, his budget just got slashed, and it just becomes this. I could show you the picture in here. I mean, it just becomes a really campy. Monster movie-ish type movie, and it's a fun time, and you're not going to regret it. It's one of those movies you can look back and see this is what superhero movies were like before superhero movies were big budget movies that people did not know how to write the characters, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, that's my number 8.
Awesome. My number 8 is probably going to shock some people, but yeah, probably Wes Craven's best movie. I mean, I don't think anybody can argue about that. But yeah, it's the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Yeah, I mean, again, everybody knows Nightmare on Elm Street, but yeah, there's nothing really to say about it. I mean, it's Nightmare on Elm Street. It's awesome.
Yep. Okay, my number 7. Again, my number 7 and 6 can go back and forth. I love them both. Number 7, again, one of his most beloved movies, very underrated too. Can't say enough about it. The People Under the Stairs. It's been talked enough to death, but this is such an awesome movie. It's such a fun time. You will not be bored any bit whenever you're watching this movie. It is awesome. The characters, all the characters you see on the front are just awesome. It's sort of like this great coming of age movie that's like. It's like almost like a story. It's almost like a fairy tale coming of age movie. All up to like he has to face the monsters like in his dreams, like the two people who are robbing the people. So I mean, robbing the neighborhood. So it is. I mean, I couldn't say enough about it. I struggle because I love all of these movies, and it's just which one do I love a little bit more. I honestly can't even say anything bad about The People Under the Stairs. It's just they're all this good.
Yeah, it's pretty much the struggle that I had, but yeah, my number 7 is again the Great Swamp Thing. Yeah, man, I know this got rewritten and cut a lot, but man, I seriously would not have this any other way. I freaking again we watched this last night or the night before, whatever, I can't remember, but man, I laughed so hard. I freaking love this one. I mean, it's just everything I want. I think it's perfect the way it is.
Yes. Number 6, Deadly Blessing. Again, another one that's like very underrated, and like you don't have, other than like with this, you don't hear a lot of people like talking about it, and it's not on a lot of people's like top 50 horror lists or anything like that. But this is a great film. This is Sharon Stone's first film. I kind of like I grew up I grew up in Pennsylvania, and like this actually takes place, supposed to be taking place in Pennsylvania, and it's sort of like Amish country type thing. So like I kind of like identify with all this stuff, and it kind of makes you feel at home with a lot of these things. But yeah, it's just a great story too. It does get a little slow, and the ending is just great, perfect. But yeah, I hope this is one that I love and I cannot watch enough of. It's great.
Oh yeah. My number 6 is the original Hills Have Eyes. Yeah, again, I hear a lot of people saying they refer the remake to this. I completely disagree. I do think the remake's pretty good, but man, I really love this movie, man. Yeah, again, I really enjoy the characters in this one as well. Really enjoy the family in this one. I know the second one kind of goes away from the family aspect of it.
Yeah. Which I kind of glad they did.
Yeah, that was pretty good for this time. But I do love the family for this one. Yeah, I can't say enough about this one. Love it.
Yep. So on to our top 5 now. I'm gonna go with this collection here, but my number 5 is
Not Freddy's Dead.
Yes, not Freddy's Dead, but Wes Craven's New Nightmare. I love the story of it. Again, like, he sets it, like, I don't know, like, I've listened to the commentary on this, like, 3 or 4 times. When Wes Craven passed, this was one of the movies that I watched over and over again. So it's got a lot of sentimental value for me, like, early. Obviously, he passed away August 30th last year, so all of September I was watching this quite a bit. This and my number 1 movie, watching them quite a bit. And so, yeah, I really love it. He sets it with, like, Hansel and Gretel, which I'm not sure why, but, like, that theme of Hansel and Gretel keeps coming up again and again. Like, he leaves the breadcrumbs of, like, the sleeping pills.
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, he pushes her. She tells the story of Hansel and Gretel, then he pushes them in, and the fire kills them. Like, it's that whole Hansel and Gretel thing. And it kind of works for this story. I really like it. It's not, like, overly scary, but, like, it's really genius how he can do some things. Like, he intertwines the stories, like, of, like, real life and, like, the Freddy world. Just genius.
Yeah, awesome. But, my number 5 is going to be, again, on the 3-pack, and that's going to be Shocker.
That's a shocker.
Yeah, man, but this, again, this one was about, it ran a little long. I mean, what, an hour and 50 minutes?
Yeah, it's a little over an hour and 50.
But, yeah, this one's super entertaining. This movie was really, really fun and everything. And then my personal favorite part of the movie is when they go and have a little fight scene in the TV. Yeah, I mean, that's just priceless, man. I freaking love this one. I mean, it could have been cut down a little bit, maybe, but yeah, I freaking love Shocker.
Indeed. I think we're down to number 4 now. Number 4 for me is Scream 4. Not on purpose, but I honestly, the first time I watched this, I was blown away. I loved it. I was really scared by this movie the first time I watched it. Like, the first scene, like, during the 3 beginnings, the jump scare there, like, it just, like, everything worked for me. The characters all worked for me. And my favorite scene is actually the scene where they're kind of, like, watching the Stabathon type thing where they're watching the barn. It just seems like it would be such a fun time to do. Just, like, watch, like, horror movies all night with a bunch of people. I wish that would actually be a real life thing, by the way. I really wish we could do that more, because that would be so much fun. But yeah, like, all the characters, I, like, had such a fun time with. Like, there's never a time when I'm bored in this movie at all, and it's 2 hours long. This is a movie, or an hour and 50, should I say. But, like, there's, like, other than like, maybe the hospital scene should have been cut out and maybe been the beginning or, like, something else. Maybe just be cut out, period, and maybe ended it with Sydney and Jill, like, just dead. Like, you think maybe they're both dead, or, like, Jill lives or something like that. Like, other than that, like, this is perfect. I'm never bored a single minute in this movie. It is such a good time.
Yeah, my number 4 is my favorite out of the Nightmare series, and that is New Nightmare. Yeah, really, the only reason it really gets the nod of the original one, pretty much this does have about the same kills as the original one. But what gets the nod over to me is really just I really like the fact that Wes Craven and Robert Englund are in this movie playing themselves. Yeah. It was really like that one. It kind of gives like a real life element to it, and yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that gives the nod over to me. But I freaking love this one.
And my number 3 is the original Nightmare. again, like I said before, I think this was my number 3 on, actually number 3 on my 80s slashers, maybe 3 or 2, I can't remember. But like the more that I watch this, the more that I like it, and I've watched it probably at least a dozen times now. But like I'm slowly starting to really warm up to it. I mean, obviously it's been talked about enough to death. Like the dream sequences, everything feels like it's so surreal. It's such a great, like it's such a well filmed movie and well directed. Like it is just truly a masterpiece. I mean, it's definitely, I can understand why this would be many people's number 1.
Oh, yeah. I think we're done with these ones.
Yeah,
okay.
Number 3.
Okay, my number 3 is, that's going to be Deadly Blessing. Yeah, really, again, the ending's amazing. Yeah, couldn't have done the ending any better, but, yeah, seriously, one of my favorite endings to any horror movie, just really out of nowhere. Yeah. I really like the fact that you really don't know what type of this is like. I always find it hard to figure out what genre this fits under because it's not a really. It's kind of a slasher. It's kind of a supernatural type movie. You just really don't know, man. I really like that about it. It doesn't have a specific genre. It's just its own movie. I really love what he did with this one.
Yep. Hey, sorry about that, guys. Memory card is actually full, so actually starting over here. Again, I'll say that these next 2 just detach yourselves emotionally from. Just again, all of these are like just our opinions. These are not like Wes Craven's best movies or anything, but these are just our personal favorites.
Yeah,
so
he's in Chicago, so don't send your death threats here. So because I'm not gonna read them.
All right, so number 2 for me is the original Scream. Like I said earlier, like this one, like with the 4th one. I'm not bored a moment by this, and the characters are all so awesome. There is a reason why this rejuvenated interest in the horror genre. Everybody, like especially Jamie Kennedy's character, like the horror fan, like all the horror fans, like can identify with Randy. Like I remember myself, not even saying that I was a full-on horror fan. Late 90s. My dad would always take me down to Hollywood Video, and I'd always be in the horror section. I'd always be looking up the Friday the 13th, and like I remember the Dead Alive, like being there. Like I'd always remember being in, like, hey, let's look up this one, and me just never having the money to do it. So like this is like such real life. Like they did such a good job with this film. It's like it's pretty scary. Like it's great. So yeah, I definitely, that's my number 2.
Yeah, that's also my number 2. Yeah, like you said, born in the late 90s, man. This is one that I just watched as a kid, like non-stop. Basically all the 90s slasher movies. Like I used to watch them all the time. And yeah, this is probably my favorite of all of them. But yeah, I mean, what's there to say about Scream? Probably the best opening sequence to any horror movie. Really revolutionized the slasher genre for that time. Really awesome.
Yep. Alright, so that brings us to number 1.
Talk about revolutionary. Here we go.
You want to talk about revolutionary? Here's my number 1. If you've been doing the countdown, we've been doing the same movies if you've been following it here, so it's kind of, if you've been paying attention, there's one movie that I haven't done that he did. It was his number 13, if you're remembering. My favorite Wes Craven movie is My Soul to Take. It's not a joke. I realize that like this movie is really hated on by a lot of people in the horror community. I do find that there are actually a surprising amount of people that really do like it. I think I'm the only one that probably has this as my number 1, but the reason why I like it is it sort of combines my favorite elements from Nightmare series, the Scream series, and just has such, like, I just find the characters just intriguing. Like, I don't know why. Like, I find them entertaining. Like, I never am bored by this movie at all. And, like, I find the Ripper to be so, it's just interesting. And by the way, I have Wes Craven's biography back here. That one of the biographies that was written about him. And like I read this, and like I knew about his life sort of before I'd watched this movie. And I didn't get to see this, unfortunately, in its theatrical run, but I've watched this movie so many times, I can't even tell you how many times I've watched this. At least 5 dozen times, and not kidding. Like, there's months on end that I would probably watch this movie once a week, twice a week, probably. But I love this movie. It's not just that I've watched it a couple times and I really like I've watched this movie endless times and just love it. Same with Scream. I mean, I just, there's something special about this movie. I get kind of the whole, underlying themes that he's trying to talk about in the movie and everything, and I loved just the intricacy of the whole movie. It's not really scary. It's a little bit creepy sometimes, but again, all in all, I just absolutely love this movie. So yeah, that's my number one. Unapologetic about it being my number one, although most people probably want to murder me after hearing about that, but that's just my number one.
You can tell it's not a joke, but he's planning on getting a tattoo of Ghostface, alright, Freddy, and the Ripper. So,
that is the truth. That is a fact right there.
Hey guys, Andrew here.
Oh, you're not allowed to watch your own videos during one of your videos. Yeah, my number one, if you've been following along, is People Under the Stairs. Yeah, I don't hear too many people saying that they don't like this, although if you don't like this, you can burn in hell. Yeah, seriously, the characters in this one are beyond perfect. Like, seriously, the characters, I mean, so just hilarious. Mom and Dad in this one just crack me up, dude. I freaking love this movie. Yeah, really, every single time I watch this, I like it better and better. Really nothing bad I can say about this one. Just all-around perfect movie for me.
Yep. That's like our top 15. Honestly, I've seen probably, I think he's directed 26 films, and I think I've seen all but 3 of them. And they're 3 that it's really hard for me to get my hands on. So, I honestly, I could have done more, a top 20 list that probably would have taken an hour to do, but like, it definitely, like Scream 3 just barely misses the list for me. I have a lot of fun watching that, but yeah, these are all movies that I could say that just my top Wes Craven movies. As my favorite director, these are like our top 15 of these, and he's just such a legendary director, so it's kind of like my own like little personal way to tribute Wes Craven in the best way that I can think of to do. But yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know what you think. I thank you guys for like commenting and stuff on my other videos. Yeah, just let me know what you think. We can always discuss your disagreements, because I'm sure there are many. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again next week.